Corey, it's a podcast. I am under the weather.
Heather's a little under the weather with Heather. She's no longer predicting the weather because she is incorrect when she does so.
You know, I have a bone to pick with my
weather
immune system. No, that one I gave up on. What are you doing, immune system? Show up. Yeah, you get paid the big bucks.
Heather, I want to tell you.
You get paid the green drink.
I want to tell you, Heather buys this green drink. What's it called?
AG1.
AG1.
I've been sipping on that earth dirt for years.
Doesn't it taste kind of bad?
They actually reformulated it last month, and you can switch your subscription to one of their...
Have you tried the new formulation?
Yeah, it tastes like lemony dirt. Probably better, I don't know.
Would you swear... Listen, Heather swears by AG1 till she gets sick, because she thinks she needs to be like...
Oh, no, I gave up swearing by AG1 about last year when I got sick.
Immunity.
For a while, I didn't get sick for years. Then it all caught up.
But I want to say, at our age, which is not young no longer.
No spring chickens. We're summer chickens over here.
It's okay to get sick once a year and not...
Here's what I want to say. I have the sinus caverns of Luray Caverns.
I think you don't have...
There's Luray Caverns and there's my sinuses, and they're both trying to win an award of the depth and size.
Yes.
So
I don't know
when
your brain must be tiny and your cavern's large.
But my teeth are massive, so it's all teeth and sinuses. I'd say nose, but I paid to have that reduced. So, but yeah, and then also this. I don't think people truly understand how hot my body runs. The thought that it might be hot today will increase my body temperature. I don't know if it's some form of PTSD or mental issue.
Yeah. My husband also runs hot. That's why the house is always 68 or below.
But Ruth Ann, the other day, I came down here 78.
70, I could not.
That would be like the heat was about
So the fall, you're looking forward to it.
Oh, this is my body shedding off the summer. I'm itchy. I'm stuffy.
Well, you gotta be. Today is like low 80s. It's overcast. It's gonna rain
with Corey on the A's.
Yeah, finally, someone actually looked it up. Well, welcome to the Baking It Down with Sugar Cookie Marketing Podcast. We're back on track, off Heather's sinuses, on to cookie baking and the things that come from it. We are a spinoff from a group on Facebook. If you haven't joined, please do. We let people in all the time now that we've caught up.
Yeah, I do. If you haven't answered the questions, you pen, and my little caveat here, I see an uptick in this. If you use a fake profile, no.
Just because we don't know who yours is, and you got a weird name, Robinson Caruso.
Cake. Middle name is, last name Tasty. That's going to be a no. Cake is Tasty because I don't know what you're going to do, Miss Tasty.
Right. You might have some tasteless comments.
It is fascinating. That's hilarious. It is fascinating how anonymity kind of breeds hell in a handbasket. People, when you have your true name behind it, I know that there's some profiles there where it's an alt profile, but it's your full name. But these anonymous groups are these secondary profiles that you can make.
Yeah.
Woof.
Yeah, just out there living large.
Ooh.
So if you haven't joined the group, please do with your original profile, not your alt ID.
Sorry, Cake is Tasty.
What we wanted to do is we actually see topics in the group all the time. Each and every week, something's trending, either something's big, question, and we like to bring it to your ear holes on this podcast. What we see, this one is kind of overarching, and it was brought to my attention because my first marriage, I had nothing to do with the ring. And the ring reflected that. My second marriage, God bless his soul, I knew that, love technically isn't as forever as it was. So I got involved in the ring and I chose the ring that I wanted.
What did you do for your third marriage?
Still planning. In the words of don't tell my husband. Just kidding. So what I really dove into was everything that goes on with diamonds.
Okay, here's the disclaimer. And if you don't like diamonds, you can still listen to this podcast. I'm not a diamond girly myself. However, it is Corey's fetish.
I just enjoyed learning about them.
So before you start grabbing your Bibles and your towels, we're talking about ethically sourced, not blood diamonds. Yes. So down dog. No, that's not what we're talking about. Let's also focus that this is a marketing podcast on cookies.
It is, yeah. So what I wanted to tie in today is you got the 4 C's of diamonds: cut, clarity,
color, and carats.
Color.
When
and
we
carats.
were scripting this, Corey was like, carrots is spelled C-A-R-A-T. Like, I was like so broke.
I know she was going to say
like
C-A-R-R-O-T.
Oh, why do they need vegetables when they get diamonds?
When it comes to being a baker, the greatest part of being a baker is starting out, because you go from nothing to something, and your family and your friends are rooting for you. You know, they're
Well, I mean that first order, that second order,
launch,
the first order not from a family member.
Oh, it's almost like
someone tagging you in a group and somebody else ending up in your inbox to place an order.
There's nothing sweeter. The problem is, once we get into the thick of things, friends and family get busy, you know, your orders can fall off. You see more bakers coming into the industry.
Well, even if your orders don't fall off and they just remain consistent, it's called the hedonistic treadmill, where what we only dreamed of at one point becomes what we're used to.
Yeah.
And it's no longer the shiny object. We used to be like, wow, I got an order. Now we're like, I got those orders. Where are the other ones?
Yeah.
I got more.
So I wanted to kind of liken how the industry works with how diamonds work. The great thing to know is there's so many diamond jewelers out there, and none of them are shutting down because another one is opening. So that is encouraging.
Yelling, De Beers just reported a lot. Okay, don't take this all the way to the diamond analogy. It's just a brandable way to talk about this. So Corey says there's a couple ways that diamond producers, right, ethically sourced, are setting themselves apart, and we can extrapolate that as well. Diamonds relating to cookies being something we don't need. Sugar cookies we don't need. We love them. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Delicious. Stunning. Love to look at. Gifts. But diamonds and cookies are not necessary for life.
Yeah,
itself.
They're not. When you go to choose electricity, is the house going to have electricity today, or am I going to get a new diamond?
There's two shiny things in here. Which one do you want?
We can go off my ring. Use it as
Does the cut, color, clarity, and carat matter if you can't see it?
That's
so true. What do you think about in terms of your diamond bakery, right?
Yeah, and your diamond bakery is one of many diamond bakeries out there.
Yeah, and you see that, you if you watch the De Beers documentary, they control supply and demand. So a lot of this is about supply and demand. Unfortunately, you can't control supply because you'd have to murder somebody. So we have competition. Now, if we can't control supply, we can't control demand. That's how it naturally works. What can we do? What can we learn from these diamond manufacturers or these diamond miners to set ourselves apart? And we have some interesting things. Now you see there's a ton of bakers. Tons of bakers. So we got that's what the ball field looks like. Now we see this kind of, and you can think about it this way. This was when somebody else does marketing for you. Mm-hmm. It's that dye-free movement. The marketing was done for us, right? You got all this political stuff. I don't want to talk about it, but all this and we shouldn't have dyes. And everyone's talking about it. It's this hot button topic, right? Now you can say, I want to be the diamond company that capitalizes on dye-free or allergy-friendly or allergy-conscious. And you know that there's very specific things you have to do to incorporate allergy-free. But with the dyes, it's kind of akin to the ethically sourced diamond, where you can see that, ethically sourced diamonds are more expensive because they're sourced ethically.
Yeah.
But that's how they're setting themselves apart. So I know these dye-free dyes, or whatever you call them. Dye-free what?
They're
colorings?
Yeah.
Are a lot more expensive.
Yes, they are.
There's also a massive learning curve.
Yeah.
There's also a give and take. So while it's healthier, or whatever the science says, it's also not as punchy in the colors.
And before the dye-free people, you guys got. You're working on it. They're coming.
We're talking about diamond mines or landmines, because I feel like we're like, not to hurt your feelings here.
Okay, they all know we're not trying to mean that, so we'll just continue.
So you can say, and you can see when it's a diamond company that ethically sourced, they lead with that. That's their messaging. It's their branding. So they're saying, hey, it is more expensive. It's more expensive because we did it the right way.
Yeah, and that's what they're doing. So if you're like, there's so many bakers around me, how do I set myself out apart from all of these jewelry stores selling the same diamonds I do? There's things you can do within your business that you can control, and that is going to do these dye-free routes.
Which would be interesting. If someone contacted you today and said, can I get a set of dye-free? I don't think you would do the order, but I think you'd find somebody who could. Can you do dye-free?
I got the dye-free stuff.
Are you good at it?
Ready to go.
Are you good at it?
No, I'm not good at it.
Okay, but I know you'd tell them you'd be my guinea pig, so I'll give it to you at half price.
Yeah, for sure.
If somebody was like, hey, I need this order, I need it to be perfect, you can kind of get that sense. Would you refer them to
I would refer them out.
So that's right there, is setting yourself apart while not also like getting angry at competition. Because if you become known in your area as the dye-free baker, what's going to happen is the bakers in your area who are like, hey, listen, that's not the bite I want to take right now. I'm not really sure how to approach that. they're going to start referring that work to you.
And just like ethically sourced diamond companies, they are just a bit more expensive. The thing is, you can't work at a loss, and the dye-free gels are very expensive. They are expensive.
Like considerably?
I want to say twice as much as a normal gel bottle.
So you automatically increased your cost. Mm-hmm. So your list price has to increase, or your profit has to decrease.
But what you've done is you've niched down.
And I know ethically sourced companies are like, we got this ethically sourced, but we're going to eat that cost, and you get just cheaper ethically sourced diamonds.
Yeah, they don't.
Instead, they're going to be like, hey, it's more expensive, and here's the reasons why. So you're not appealing to someone's necessarily, oh, that tastes good. You're saying, I'm appealing to your, almost in a weird way, morality.
Yeah.
Dye free, the healthier option, right? Okay. Do your own science project there. But I'm just saying that's the positioning that I see some of these dye-free bakers taking. I'm like, hey, that's a great position to take.
And right now, you could ride the wave. It's really a lot in the news.
You see Skittles.
Yeah. And
so every time one of those companies takes that dye coloring out there, I would be the baker. If I was a dye-free baker, I'd be like, guys, exciting news. We got Skittles on board too. Just a reminder, my bakes are dye-free, and I'm love, that kind of message.
So if you are a baker and you're like, I feel like this, before we go to it's oversaturated and I'm quitting, I'm shutting it down, there's too many bakers out there, let's see how can we niche our business down. Can we become allergy friendly? Everyone has allergies now. When you become allergy friendly, you probably have an allergy. When you become allergy friendly, you've niched down. You're not inexpensive by any means. We're not saying discount to get more sales. What we're doing is saying niche down, raise your prices, and become the go-to person for allergy friendly needs.
Now here's the thing. Gluten people who have a gluten intolerance know that the food tastes less good. They know that gluten-free flour, am I right?
Yeah,
is more expensive. So it's that positioning you're going to take, but it's going to be a more expensive position because ethically sourced diamonds are more expensive.
Yeah.
Moving on, packaging.
Listen, Tiffany's is out there.
Tiffany blue isn't it patented or whatever you?
I'm sure it is. Yeah, I think it's called Tiffany blue.
Yeah, the Tiffany blue. You know exactly what it is. I was looking at these car dudes or something. They went to some trip or whatever, and I was scrolling through the pictures of the cars or whatever, and then I guess they got their wives gifts. But all I could see was Tiffany blue. I didn't even need to know which store it was. Yeah. I was like, oh, wow, they went to Tiffany.
Here's the thing. The diamonds from Tiffany's can be just as good as the diamonds from Mervis Diamond Importers. They actually are on the 2 doors down from each other over in Tysons Corner.
I saw that. I drove right past the Tiffany door.
But the Tiffany diamond will be $2,000 to $6,000 more for the same cut, clarity, color, and carat.
Because of that packaging and branding.
Yeah.
He went to, wasn't it from it's from the movie from the 60s.
Yes.
And then the phrase, he went to Tiffany's. He got it at Tiffany's. Then you got the Tiffany blue box.
Yeah.
That branding, and this one takes a little bit more time in the market. The quick shortcut to this is just upping your packaging. Sure. The whole brand, the whole experience, the brand experience. So when somebody contacts you, everything is just beautifully done. The other thing is time in and making it that luxury experience every time.
Every single time. And from your website, choosing the right words, not so colorful and playful.
Brand cohesiveness.
Yeah, where we feel like it's luxury from the top down. That is a great way to separate yourself from other jewelry stores. To be the Tiffany's in a world full of just normal jewelry stores.
Filigree, metallics, golds, warmth.
A lot of times when I think of a baker who has a true style about them, where it's not like they're not just going with the colors from the invites, they're saying, listen, there's this way that I do it. And I'm always like, when I see them in my feed, I was like, I know exactly who did that. That's their style.
That's a part of that.
Yeah.
Again, I can see that those men went to Tiffany's. The bag, I couldn't even see the logo. Yeah. I saw that blue color. Or whatever you call that color. So that Tiffany blue, right? You see people, I want that order to have Tiffany blue. Like it's such a specific greenish, orangish, bluish, whatever. Teal. So yeah, we have the allergy dyes, which is akin to the ethically sourced. We have the packaging, which is that luxury experience like Tiffany's, where sometimes you're like, that's not worth that, but it's Tiffany. So it is because they said it was.
And here's the thing. When you niche down and you become the Tiffany of the bakers around you, you've niched down. So you're going to get a higher end clientele, and that's really fine. And there's some people who want to go to Tiffany's for the experience that Tiffany's offers. And there's some people who don't. So there's enough for everyone. But before you think like, let me shut this down, there's too much competition.
Find your niche. So Corey does like some fancy jewelry. I'm not so much, but you're not a Tiffany's girly. I don't think I'll ever see you.
I'm a wholesale girly.
Corey likes to find the cheaper, which is what we're going to talk about next. That VVS score is, what does VVS stand for?
I can't stand for, what is it? I don't know
Okay,
what
little jewelry lover, VVS stands for.
it stands for.
Very, very slightly included.
So what an inclusion is.
Such a made-up word. VVS sounded so technical, but very, very
Slightly included. There's VVS 1, VVS 2, IS 1, IS 2, things like that. That is how many inclusions. So what is an inclusion? It's a spot in the diamond that's an imperfection. The fewer imperfections you have, the higher end it is. It's almost a perfect diamond. Diamonds with inclusions are relatively cheaper than diamonds without inclusions because you can't fix an inclusion. You can like zap it. You can try to zap it. It's still there though.
Nature having its way. High pressure volcanics.
Yeah.
So we have the baker that does this. The baker, and Corey mentioned wholesale. The baker who's like, listen, I'm gonna be the price competitive baker. That's my niche here. Is that I'm gonna charge less and sell more.
And I see bakers do this often when they say,
this is a baker that gets a lot of flack from other bakers. But I want to be like, listen, you guys don't understand. The invisible hand of the market's always working.
and I want to say sometimes they always give a lot of flack. I don't waste any money on packaging. My customers don't like it. Hey, that's totally fine. You are the VVS 2, IS 2. You were just making.
What does IS mean?
I don't know, but it's the one less than VVS. So I have no idea what it means.
VVS,
Inclusions.
It's going to be like
Something.
is satisfactory.
Is satisfactory to a Jew.
It doesn't have the IS in here.
Well, I can't remember, but we'll have to look it up after. So when you're coming to your bakery and you want to save on packaging, your customers don't need that. SI, sorry.
Slightly.
Okay, my bad. So when you're coming to your bakery and this is so crazy. In the group, someone's like, do you guys offer individually heat sealed cookies in yours? And there will be a baker who's like, I never let them live without the heat sealed. Uh-huh. Some people say I could save, a cent per cookie by not offering. Costs. And the labor, there is a lot of labor cost that comes with heat seal. So by offering, saying, hey, customer, you can get them heat sealed or not heat sealed, it's an additional cost. You are the wholesale baker, which is fantastic.
Because you have Corey, because there's the person who wants a Tiffany experience and they're going to record it and post it. And they spent 6 hours there trying on everything. And then you have Corey and she's emailing them and you're like, are you getting ripped off? I don't know.
It's showing up in like a brown box.
Right. So we have the lower cost, high volume niche. And that's the person who's like, listen, it isn't perfect. It isn't Tiffany. It isn't ethically sourced. It is just, you're going to get your cookies. You're going to do mass volume. You're able to get them out quickly.
Yeah.
That's the baker that has their own market. And you can't be mad. And I always see people, there's a new baker and they're undercharging in my area. Uh-huh. They're undercharging in your area. They're booking out. I already can tell you the market will fill them up quickly.
Absolutely.
The type of client they have, that's not the client that fits your business anyway. So this other baker who's charging less than you and ruining your market, just took away all your tire kickers.
Yeah.
Because they were never going to afford you anyways.
One time I had a potential client, they ended up not booking. They knew my dad. It was one of the people who worked for him. And she was like, yeah, can I get these cookies done for my son's Boy Scout troop? And my dad's like, yeah, I'm going to connect you to. We get connected. I give her the quote, my base pricing. It was this, I don't know, whatever a Boy Scout logo is. So it was my base pricing, $78 a dozen. She says, wow, I just want someone to slap some icing on a cookie. That's way too expensive.
That's what she wants.
Totally
she wants a low cost, high volume. It don't need to be perfect.
Yeah.
The boys are just going to eat them. I just want a little something special. There's a baker for them.
There is a baker for them, and I can't be offended that that's what she's looking for, and I can't discredit myself by discounting my prices just because one person bucks and says, oh, that's so expensive. I couldn't believe that.
Yeah, so Corey didn't run to a group and say, there's somebody out there charging too little because Corey didn't want the order because the lady didn't want to pay. Okay, you could have worked with it, but if she was like, I just want to slap icing on a cookie, you guys were too far away anyway.
We were too far away. I wasn't the baker for her, but there's a baker out there for her, and it's a wholesale baker.
That
the
baker
wholesale diamond.
You can eat it.
Yeah,
you can eat it. I love bakers like that. I think we got to thank the baker that takes that approach because they do have a more hectic schedule, but they are removing the lower budgeted people because that's who their target is.
Absolutely.
Because there's also a lot of time lost in talking about pricing with potential clients who are never going to buy.
Absolutely.
Because you're like, and then you're left thinking like, they ghosted me because my prices are too high. They ghosted you because the prices were out of their budget.
Oh, yeah. And that's not something you should be offended at. I have on my phone in my notes app, bakers who decorate in similar styles to me, bakers who are cheaper than I am, cake decorators.
Yes.
And these are just copy and paste when someone's like, your prices are too high.
Yeah.
Hey, here's someone that's probably more in line with what you're willing to pay, and the designs kind of reflect that.
Perfect. I like that because, there's our cousin's outside detailing a car right now, right? And he's going to spend about 8 hours on it. Corey took her last car through the drive-through car wash. He is aghast that Corey goes through drive-through car washes for $10. I think you had a subscription. So it's $30. You could go through it 30 times a month. Could you imagine your pain? But there's people like that taking their car to my cousin who's detailing it for 8 hours, and there's people who are taking it through the drive-through car wash. That Jason doesn't care about the drive-through car wash. In fact, what he actually says is it gives him more work because people are like, oh, wow, my paint looks bad.
Absolutely.
So there is that give and take. You just can't be, I think if bakers could snap their finger. What's that, where Marvel and he snaps his finger and everybody, half the world dies?
I can't remember.
Half the bakers die. No. It's a baker.
You've been hearing a lot of snaps.
I think bakers would like to say, I would love to take all competition away. You would not love to take all competition away because you then would have to deal with the people that were never going to buy from you.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you just tell somebody, hey, I think I'm out of your budget, they're upset.
That takes me back to my car selling days, because you couldn't say like, there's no car on the lot for you, you cheapskate.
Your credit's going to low.
But what you did was, instead of just having them peruse the lot and choosing the Lexus outside that they truly can't afford, you'd say, let's talk about your budget before we go out to the lot, just to make sure that I'm showing you the things that are in your price budget. I don't want you to fall in love with something that you can't afford. Unfortunately, with cookie decorating, we can't just be like, okay, before we talk about your son's birthday.
Are you a bro? Wait. On a scale of 1 to spelling carrot, C-A-R-R-O-T, where are you? Spell carrot for me. So we have the lower cost. I love having one of these bakers in the area.
Absolutely.
You should say, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Instead of like, she charges so little, she's stealing all the business. She was taking business you were never getting. She is taking inbox messages you were going to have to fight with.
Absolutely.
Okay, I like this. We're moving on. Thank you, Baker. We're moving on to drop cookie people.
Drop cookies.
Okay. I think sometimes this podcast specifically forgets about the drop cookie people. And I don't forget about you. I look at your little cookies split in half with all that chocolate in the middle, and my mouth is drooling. However, you mark it differently because you can't say, look how pretty the top is. Yeah. You say, look how pretty the inside is. You know what the sugar cookie baker is not doing? Breaking their cookie in half and saying, look how pretty it is.
Because it's not as pretty.
It is ugly. So, yeah, drop cookie people win in the overhead shot, or in the break in half shot, and the sugar cookies win from overhead. Drop cookie people have almost removed themselves from the sugar cookie battle.
They have.
They are like the moissanite ring, which I've seen this shift towards, let's not even deal with diamonds. Yeah. That is De Beers controlled market, blood diamond, all this stuff. Let's do this moissanite thing. So I see this. I found a subreddit for it. Oh, don't worry, I'm not buying myself a ring. Everybody can call. But it's like, now that market isn't controlled at all by this De Beers and this,
moissanite. Technically sparklier than diamonds, not as tough as diamonds. From the naked eye, you can't tell what is a moissanite and what is a diamond. The price, vastly different. You can make so much more moissanite than you can diamonds.
Doesn't that sound like a drop cookie?
It does sound like a drop cookie.
Delectable, cheaper.
Absolutely. It can be even people who just focus on Eddie printed cookies. There's now a market out there for them.
And I think people are like, Eddie's not a real sugar cookie. It's not. No, it's a completely different approach. Yeah, the bases are the same, but the production is completely separate.
Wildly different. And I've seen more and more cookiers going to Eddie printed cookies instead of spending 22 hours on a set. They're working about quantity over necessarily the quality of all those separate colors and things like that.
We taught a cookie class the other day, and one of the girls there, I always ask these questions: what's your name? Where'd you roll out of bed from? And what's your experience with cookies? I really want to know what your experience is, because if you're too good, I'm gonna have to kick you out of class. That one-liner lands every time. You can take that if you want. We get to this girl, and she's like, oh, actually, I'm a nurse at the hospital. But she was she worked in a capacity of marketing.
Yes.
So she's like, last year, for our holiday gift, the hospital has 50,000 employees. Yeah. So we ordered 50,000 printed sugar cookies. And she was like, I just wanted to see the work behind that. And I was like, she was like, I jokingly said, Corey, would you want to take this order? And Corey's like, there's just no ability for me to take that order. Because it was never meant. That was meant for a mass production facility. She ordered from like something like Cheryl's or something.
In my brain, I said, I'm so sorry. That number of cookies is so far gone from my brain.
So when you take these small, like we're always like, Eddie people are stealing our cookies. You'd never take a 50. They said
I want to just tell you your numbers are
10,000.
It was 10,000.
The hospital had 50,000 employees. She ordered 10,000 cookies.
It cost 40,000. They were
$40,000.
$2-ish some odd dollars each.
40,000. Because hey guys, raise your hand if you want an order that's $40,000. Everyone raise your hands.
Yeah.
You need to have them done in a week, and there are 10,000 of them.
And they must be fresh.
And they have to have a logo on them.
Heat sealed each
All
one.
the hands slowly go down because nobody in that class wanted that. So what we're saying is that moissanite thing, it's completely almost separated. Yes, they're edible food. Yes, it's cookies. Yes, they're a rock that goes on a ring. It's a completely different structure, and it's a different niche.
Yeah, it's a different niche. What you're finding throughout these things, there's so many diamond jewelers out there. Literally, when you drive through Tysons, there's one on every single square foot of that area because it's a nicer area of this where we live. The thing about it, there's different things about them. Mervis Diamond Importers, he goes straight to the source, and that's why he's able to offer you at a discount. Tiffany's doesn't want to offer you at a discount. They want to offer you an experience. Going lab grown.
No, don't jump into there.
We're not
That's
even
our
there
last
yet.
point. That was my favorite
I
one.
thought we had I was going in closing.
One last one. But this was a good closer, so if you can remember that.
Okay, I'll try to come back to it.
Okay. Easier sets, consistent production. So sometimes you see these bakers and wow, you must have spent 50 hours on that. Mm-hmm. That's a fantastic thing. Wow, look at that. I like, those famous bakers that make the 3D popping out.
I can tell how much a baker spends on a set with the unique cookie cutters that are so pinpointed to that set. Like, the character cookies, like when there's like 12 different characters and everything looks like it had a specific cutter to it.
And it was like the Disney animators showed up at your house and cut out that dog.
You had Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse.
So you have those bakers and you're like, wow, they're charging a fortune.
Yeah.
And they should be because that's how much their labor costs were. Now we have the baker who's like, hey, I know how to make it. Corey, do you think you fall into this? You're like, I'm consistent with my sets. You're going to get this. When you order from me, you're going to get it.
I even think there's even someone better at that. And that's the person who didn't buy 52 million cookie cutters when they started. It's someone who uses a plaque very efficiently. And that plaque is being used in every single set that they're making. And they're using it wisely. They're like Amy. They're not buying 52 million cutters. She's buying very specific cutters that she needs to be more efficient in her bakery.
So that's the equivalent to lab grown. Lab growns aren't real diamonds. It's a different type of strategy. The same way moissanite, the same way ethically sourced. It's a different strategy. Mm-hmm. Though that doesn't count. It doesn't count for your business, which is great that somebody else has niched down away from you. So when you have that baker, they're really big into pre-sales.
Love a pre-sale.
What you see is what you get. Yeah. They're really good about cultivating that audience. They're very consistent. Corey and I, our sugar cookie class kits are always beginner because we know that's where we make the most money. Well, where you're more complex, you're leaving out. Yeah, strategically, we're leaving out the more advanced classes because I can't get them to sign up like I can get the beginners to sign up.
I would say the more efficient baker, instead of buying a new cookie cutter every year for their back to school pre-sale, they're using the same things they've used every single year.
It's a way to keep the cost down. Now, the lab grown diamonds apparently are better looking than the real ones.
Well, lab grown, you can decide if there's an inclusion or not.
And you can produce them a lot faster. Yeah. It's so funny to see the disparity. Like, you don't really love your wife. Okay, whatever you want. Of course, somebody who sold ethically sourced diamonds from South Africa would be mad about the lab grown diamonds because they're taking it personally. But you guys are in different sections. That efficient baker and you and your custom and ornate, and then that baker who's doing Eddie prints, and then that baker who's doing dye free. You're all in different niches, and it really helps not look at the market as crowded. Yeah, you're not saying look at all this. If you want to take it all the way, anything that produces consumable food is your competition.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Well, these are gifts. Okay, any gift shop is your competition. Okay, well, these are custom gifts. Any custom gift, like you can see that.
We are lucky that we're not in the diamond industry because how often are people buying diamonds? Not very often. They're like anniversary gifts, a 10-year gift when someone's getting one. We eat 3 times a day. That's even more if you're me.
Do you see? And I think about this all the time. There's so many restaurants in our area. Yes. Because they know that every day someone has to eat 3 times.
Someone's going to have to eat.
Also thinking mattresses because everybody has to sleep.
But I want to say, they suggest replacing mattress every 10 years. Like, thank goodness we're not selling cookies every 10 years.
Mattress industry when the bed in the boxes came out?
Oh, I couldn't
punch in air.
Guess what? They pivoted. Now they offer bed in a box as well. The thing with cookie decorators is we're getting ready to come back into busy season. Me and Heather see that the amount of podcast listens are increasing. The amount of people following us on social media are increasing. A lot of people are waking up from their summers off.
That's how you guys make a lot of your back to school sales. You got your bags.
Yeah, which
your
is
book bags
fantastic.
and your other bags.
The bakers who are consistent throughout the year can form in their little heart of hearts some animosity that people are coming back. Like, you weren't here for the long haul. I've been here for so long. Look, people are just popping up. I saw a stay-at-home mom just start a bakery yesterday. She doesn't even know what she's doing.
I saw that comment the other day.
Yeah, you can take that personally, but you have to take a step back. The industry growing is good for business. It's good for everyone's business.
You want me to tell you the number one assist in getting the cookie industry and thus sales to grow was COVID. It was the peak of search volume that year.
But can you imagine the bakers before COVID? The cookie
they would
bakers
be like,
before COVID.
To see all the bakers that came while, we were out, close your doors, can't leave your house, get into some hobby.
Yeah.
To see all the bakers into the market. And I see them now say, I'm a pre-COVID baker.
Yeah.
Like, it's like get this badge.
I know.
Which, hey, it is, because you weren't bored. You got into it when you had many other options.
Right.
But to be upset, the invisible hand of the market is the most beautiful thing. Mm-hmm. The more competition, the better production.
People don't understand that. But the more people that come to it, that means there's more people buying it, which is fantastic.
There's more people that want it. Your product has to be better.
Yeah.
Everyone benefits from competition.
Yeah, but just as much as people flood the market during these next few months, that many people leave in January. I promise you. I promise you. So before you come to the Sugar Cookie Marketing Group, or before you sit in your kitchen and you get sad about it and you say, well, someone just popped up. There's another baker that popped up in the group that I really get a lot of sales from. She's kind of good, and I kind of hate that for myself because she's taking people from me. Let's not think about it that way. Let's think, how can we create more separation from us to them? Okay. Is it the dye-free? Is it marketing more for corporate orders so we can sell at a higher quantity?
Oh, once you taste of the corporate order nectar, you almost are like, get away from me with your custom dozen.
Yeah,
I'm trying to get corporate.
The person next to me that offers pre-sales loves me because I don't offer pre-sales. I hate the anxiety of having to reach out to 20 people in one day.
The class we taught, if it wasn't this past Saturday, the Saturday prior, we had one of the members from the group, who's also a member of the Cookie College, who also lives where Corey lives, come to take the class to learn how to teach classes.
Yeah, technically.
You can immediately be like, oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
She comes here and she's like, I'm going to teach them in Spanish.
Yeah.
Suddenly, guess who was in competition?
We were worlds apart.
The wild part is we don't teach where Corey lives. Yeah. So I even told her, if you want to teach them in English, let me know. I'll pass people that way.
Absolutely. Here's the thing. I could have looked at her. She's the nicest lady on the planet and said, you're my competition. Please don't come to this class. You're going to be trying to take people and take everything that I've learned and use it against me and try to take all my clients, when actually we can work together. She said that she still works a full-time federal job and she commutes into DC every single day. That already tells, she said, I can't even take as many orders as I want to because I'm still working.
The wild part is she's like, I've been trying to sign up for classes for months and they're always booked out. So there's enough to go around.
Yeah.
I know people are like, you're just saying that. Yes, if there's competition, you're not getting as many orders, but I almost think you're not getting the orders you didn't want anyways.
Yeah. And you'll see the value of sugar cookies goes down in the summer. Not many people are buying them. The value of sugar cookies goes up in December. The value of diamonds are constantly ever changing. Yeah. It can be extremely expensive one day, extremely cheap the next day, but you don't see people shutting down because it's extremely cheap, because it's changing. The amount of bakers that will come in December, a lot. The amount of people who want cookies in December, even more. And that's why people will be turning people away in December and saying, I am so booked.
I saw a post yesterday. A lady's like, I do customs. I get super booked out. Am I missing a huge piece of the pie by not teaching classes? And everyone's like, yep.
Yeah, but here's at the end of the day, if you want to be booked out, if you want to teach the class, there's something for everyone. It's literally just stepping back and not being, woe is me. Yeah. And not saying, I'm throwing in the towel, there's too much competition. It's how can I separate myself from those competitors around me?
It's funny. I see this like vexation, and I agree. I don't like to be called on the phone by suppliers ever. Mm-hmm. Please just send me a text. Mm-hmm. Now that I get that option, like, do you want to be texted? Yes. Please don't call. But I see that sometimes you see bakers and they go to event threads and they're like, I hate it when the clients call. Look at this. She just keeps wanting to call. And always the comments like, this is probably an older client who is used to calling. Yeah. You can be the phone call cookier who calls, and you're going to take market share of an older demographic. Not me. You'll never hear from me. But you're going to find those people who do like the call, the confirmation, the clarity.
Yeah. The carrot.
Do you see it? You can find that. You can be the baker who allows people to pay at pickup.
Yeah.
Now, Corey and I are preaching pay at time of order so you don't get screwed over. You can be the baker who's like, I trust my clients.
Yeah.
And you can build that into your price because, that's why we're licensed and insured is always more expensive than the fly-by-night guy because you're taking more risk here.
You're
taking the risk on. So you can find these little ways to carve out something that makes you unique, that eliminates competition for the fact that they just don't offer it.
Yeah. And you'll never hear me and Heather's be like, if you don't take payment at time of ordering, you're a loser. No, because you're not. Your business is unique to you. And you might live in a smaller town where everybody knows everybody and everyone's going to pay. And that is a wonderful niche way that you can separate yourself from the competition. The reason why we take orders and money at time of booking is because we don't know who lives around Northern Virginia. It's always somebody new. Someone just moved to the area. Someone just found you. So we don't know anybody. So that's why it's just a little different. But
I was talking to Brian and he was like, I was like, I don't run into anyone I know ever. The odds of running into somebody are so low that it becomes the story you tell other people you actually know.
When you run into somebody, it's almost like your heart skips a beat.
This is how we do it, guys. Everyone take one. I'll give everyone one guess. Who do you think I ran into?
Whereas when my husband is from the tiniest town, Big Stone Gap. The only reason I think people know it because there was a movie made about it a few years ago. But when we went down there, everyone stopped. When we went to the little Piggly Wiggly, which is a grocery store, everyone was stopping. Oh, who are you? Are you Nathan's wife? I was like, oh, everybody knows.
Must have felt like a celebrity.
I was sweating.
Okay, so that wraps up the podcast. But I want to say, have you watched the movie Blood Diamond with Leonardo DiCaprio?
Not.
Spoilers, so close your ears if you haven't watched it in the 25 years it's been out. At the end, this whole thing is this fight for the diamonds. I really did fall asleep to this movie, but I did wake up for the last scene. Trying to get these diamonds and all this vexation. But the last scene, it's the guy who, the De Beers diamond vault where they're controlling supply. Yes. And it was just diamonds as far as I can see.
That's hilarious.
So.
Is it hilarious or is it bad?
I don't know. The thing is, demand is about to increase. So will supply.
Yes.
That's how it's one is led by the other. Mm-hmm. It would be foolish for a person who has all the supplies who took off the summer not to enter back into the market when money is to be made.
And it would be foolish for someone who did not take off to throw in the towel because you see more competition there.
Right there. The altar call. Yeah. Took me to my knees with that one.
Yeah. There's so many diamond jewelers around and there's something for everyone. The wholesale people got me in a chokehold.
At the mall, we have to go to after this. At the mall. We'll be here on the mall next week, too, because we have guest speakers.
Right.
That fancy jewelry store with the security guard
expanded. I cannot remember the name, but yes.
With an H.
Yeah.
It's too expensive for my blood. It expanded. Now, there's I'm going to say there's about 5 or 6 jewelry stores just in that mall. That doesn't include Tiffany's. That doesn't include the other one you mentioned.
It does not. Just in walking distance from each other, and they're expanding their locations. So that tells you there's something for everyone.
Diamonds are overpriced.
They are overpriced, but when it comes to your cookie decorating journey, if you keep the blinders on and say, how can I make myself more appealing to my clients? That's the only thing you can control at the end of the day. There was a post in Sugar Cookie Marketing, and she was like, a new baker came to market here where I live, and she's posting at the same time that I do. And I think she's copying me. You cannot control what other people do. What you can control is how you can differentiate yourself from the other people around you. Is it that you take another floral class and your florals are just dialed in?
I copy that.
Excuse me. I drink my water. Your florals are just really dialed in. Is it that you set up a website that is just so custom to you and looks very high-end?
Communication increases. There's a million ways to carve out the difference. Okay, yeah. And Corey and I were talking about it. Corey's like, at the end of the day, there's only so many holiday pumpkins. The cutters all look the same. Yeah, Corey's like, they're like a plaque over here, a flower over there. Yeah. Corey's like, years and years of production, everything kind of starts to have that same look to it.
Yeah, so when people are like, they're just copying me, my pre-sale is the same as their pre-sale. I want to be like, we're buying from the same cutter shops. Yeah. Whatever's new, we're all buying what's new.
Yeah,
so you
can't
look and be like, they're offering a LaBelle and I am too. Yeah, because it's trending. So you can look side to side, and that's really going to make you start hating your business. It's going to make you start hating everything about it. But if you can look in front of you at your audience that you've cultivated, you are the secret ingredient. That is why they are buying from you. You are ethically sourced, or you are dye-free. You are lab-grown, or you are able to just get these suckers out really fast.
Shockers.
That is your differentiator, and you can be unhappy if you want to be. No one can stop you.
But I don't want to pick you up off the ground. I don't need that energy.
It's just hard to pick up the ground because if you want to be unhappy, you're going to
find something else to be
Yeah,
unhappy
for sure. But I encourage us as we enter this season. Now, we've been entering it many, many seasons over all these years. It's the same rigmarole. You either niche down and figure it out for yourself, or you get unhappy, throw in the towel.
Yeah.
But that's one less baker to add to the joy of the holiday theme.
I want to say this. I'm going to drag the Cookie College people, but
Okay.
we're doing a community group challenge. Now, community groups, if you ask people, I'm just getting started, how do I get my name out there? 90% of the comments will say community groups. Because they're just such powerful tools right now. In this community group challenge, I took a poll. I said, how many of you are doing it? Under 20%.
But I want to say, because under 20% are doing it,
That leaves so much. So these folks are, and they had great reasons for why they're not
for
doing
sure.
it. Some of them were great. But that means only 20% of people, if we took that and extrapolated it, 20% of your market is even capitalizing on these groups.
I know.
And it's a strategy to make groups work for you. That's why this is a 30-day challenge and not a one-day make a sales post challenge. Because that you could be that cookier in that group that they always talk about.
Right. Yeah, so that is... I hope that conveyed it. I know we were spacey a little bit at the beginning.
I thought it was pretty good.
Really?
Well, I'm also under the weather.
Under the weather with Heather.
Right.
All
On
right.
that note, could you tell them about the cookie collab coming up next week while I go blow my nose?
Sure. So what is the Cookie Collab? The Cookie Collab is something that bakers do. It's been around for a million years. It got popular a few years ago, and then Instagram kind of redid their hashtag structure, so you kind of saw it fall off. We're bringing them back in 2025. This is our third one. This is the Main Street Cookie Collab. So I'm going to explain it. I did a video in Sugar Cookie Marketing and on the Instagram if you want to see it. What you're going to do is choose a business in your area, something that has kind of a cult following. We did a whole podcast on it. If you go back a few, you can hear it. I think it was last week's podcast, to be quite honest. You're going to choose a business and you're going to cookie the logo. If you're a cake baker, you can totally do that. If you're a drop cookier and you have custom packaging, you can absolutely join on in. It's August 28th at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is a Thursday. What we're going to do is all post at the same time, August 28th, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we're going to post our Main Street collab. There is a specific
Now you took the photos.
I did this weekend. Dedicated. It was 1 million degrees outside.
The hashtag is SEM collab local.
Yeah, and collab has 2 L's. I saw some people misspelling that last time. So you spelled it right. You just
I'm saying shoot for those people.
I know. Yeah. So collab has 2 L's. So collab local, LOCAL, and that's how we're going to be able to find you.
Now you took some nice photos.
I did.
Corey took a bunch of options for herself.
We
now,
did.
I'm curious which one you're going to end up picking, but you took and I know which one you're probably going to pick. You took the logo cookie.
Yeah.
With the background of the logo.
I did.
Now, it's a pizza place.
It is a pizza
So
place.
Corey literally took her cookie and put it on the pizza, which I thought
did.
was kind of a cute way to say this is a pizza place.
Yeah.
Corey took a picture of the cat on the side of the building that we talked about. Mm-hmm. You took a picture of...
So I'm going to just tell you how my brain's going to utilize this. I actually made a cookie with my business card for whoever was behind the...
Did you give it to him?
I did.
Was it the guy?
No, he had just people working. There was someone else who made
You
it.
probably didn't really check. Why talk?
Yeah, I don't think they uploaded it. Okay. But what I did was I made a cookie for them with my logo. When I went to throw in the trash away, which you just threw away in the building, I went to her and I said, hey, I just wanted to let you know that I have cookied your logo for Graffiti Cat Pizza. And at the end of the month, I'm going to actually feature you on my social media. So I want you to just brace yourself when you see it because you're going to get that. But this cookie's for you. I just wanted you to be able to taste test it. And on my business card, you can just find my social media. So when you see the tag, don't be alarmed. I'm not raking you through the coals of a local community group. What I did was take a lot of photos. So what I'm going to do at the end of the month, I want them to feel an onslaught of, wow, this girl is really trying to get our attention. In the Nova Foodies group.
I know. I was hoping you would do that.
I did. In the Nova Foodies group, I'm going to do a write-up. Here's how the parking works. Here's what I ordered. Here's the price of everything. And really just give it a raving review, but with details. Not this smoozy, no quality, low value. Look at me. We're going to do a really good post.
Are you going to mention why you cookied their logo?
I'm not even going to put my cookie logo in there because I want them to be able to say, wow, she really likes us as a company. And I don't want to get shoo-shooed by the admin for putting my logo in there. in my local community group that I run, I've made a whole reel. I actually voiced over the reel for you guys to tell you about the collab. I'm going to remake the reel.
Very nice use of content in 2 different ways.
Absolutely. And just to showcase it. And I even took a video with my hand with the logo cookie and then without the logo cookie, just so I had options because I don't want to break any of one's community group rules.
Now, I know you guys are thinking, well, you guys run the cookie group. That's why she made 2 content. You can tell your audience that you're in a cookie collab, and then you can tell your local group about this restaurant if you choose a restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
Right, about this business.
The great thing that I use in
So
Shop 4,
you'd make 2 voiceovers.
it's 2 voiceovers. Yeah. So I'm going to redo the whole video.
She's not even redoing the content. She's just redoing her voice.
Yeah.
So she's not doubling the effort of making a whole new video. It's the same video, 2 different audio.
Yeah. The photos I took will be going to their Google reviews.
Very nice.
As well as their Facebook reviews.
Very nice.
And then this collab that we're doing is on Instagram. So I have them covered in local community groups on Google, on Facebook, and on Instagram. They're going to feel a lot of love. We're doing it all on the 28th.
And this guy's going to be stoked.
Oh, for sure. Because at the end of the day, you are getting more views.
And this is a very unique pizza place. It's a pop-up. I can see their counter. They're only open 2 days a week.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting, it's actually inside a chocolate shop.
I know.
Right? That does a lot of local stuff. So
For sure.
It's a very interesting strategy. You guys have still 2 weeks to get involved with this. There is a sign-up form, a registration form. I'll coach you through. I'll show you what Corey's photos are so you can kind of get an idea of that. Mm-hmm. That closes a week before the collab. You can still participate. You just make sure you use that correct hashtag.
Yeah. So that will be a lot of fun. And if you really use this to your benefit.
This is the one. This is the debaters.
Yeah.
This is the diamond one. This is VBS 1, 2. Yeah. This could make your niche be business.
Yeah. If you wanted to get into corporate orders, this is a fantastic way to do so.
And it's a ton of work, but it really does show. It really does set you apart. So you guys can check that out. You can go to the events tab in the Sugar Cookie Marketing Group and find the information on registering there.
I want to tell you, the out-of-body experience for me to take my camera out and take photos in public with
you have
people
to do
staring
like a
at
deep
me.
exhale and be like, it is what it is.
It is what it is. And I said, at the end of the day, they will benefit from this. And the sweat that I'm sweating as I feel awkward doing this is okay.
Our grandma said, if you realize how little people thought of you because they're too busy thinking about themselves, you wouldn't care.
Yeah. I said, at the end of the day, those people staring at me doing this, because Arch is like, people staring at you. Granted, he's 15, and that's the biggest thing on his mind. I said, listen, I will be an afterthought tomorrow when they're stuck in traffic and someone cuts them off.
They weren't even like, look at that idiot over there. They're like, I wonder what she's doing.
I wonder what she's doing. Look at that
There's a cookie in her hand. They had a pizza place and a camera, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
So that takes us through the collab. I'd love to see you guys join. We actually have a ton of people signed up, over 100, so you have potential to even get just 100 pieces of engagement there. Moving on to the Cookie Design Lab, cool stuff there. I went to make a cookie cutter. We retooled the digital downloads for the Cookie College. So the Cookie College is 5 memberships. I'm backing us up a little bit there. The Cookie College is 5 memberships. It's the $2 Transfer Club, the digital downloads, the Baker's Business Basics, the Cookie Class Kits, and the Cookie College. Yeah. Well, I don't know why. I just can't. I haven't loved. I liked it. Don't worry. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
I said to Corey, I need the digital downloads to be more consistent in terms of.
When Heather loves something, her heart is into it.
Corey knows when I fall out of love with something.
I do.
Hell, heaven, and earth cannot make me.
I do. I'll have to put on Heather's docket 52 times before she'll get it done.
It'll be truly okay, Miss Labubu Baker.
Labubus I do not love.
Corey has to make a Labubu cookie and refuses to.
I hate Labubu.
Every Monday morning, I'm like, hey, what's the Labubu status?
I hate them so much.
So the digital downloads is a monthly digital print file in some iteration.
Yeah.
Right? And I said, Corey, I like the freedom I have there, but I don't think it's as fair to the subscribers as it could be. So I told her, let's make
something
kit.
More cohesive. That's consistent. Easy to replicate.
Yeah. So it's a digital download now that includes a cookie tag, a cookie backer, a pattern, a social media frame, and transfer sheet and STLs and the PNG prints to match.
Yeah.
And each month has a different theme. So this one was a small fall treat.
Yeah.
And the phrase is a small fall treat for some sweet. So you got the whole setup that you could take that from digital concept, print that all out in production. Corey's going to make one for me, allegedly.
Yeah, I already put the dough in the front.
So to make the STLs, I was like, well, let me just jump into Cookie Design Lab. It is a sponsor of this podcast. You can use code TWINS, I think, for 15% off. And I'll pull it up in a second.
Favorite twin?
No, that was making me crazy. I go in and they had added the ability to add text to walls, which is what everyone wants.
That is what I love.
Click of a button. I know that, people use cookie cactuses free.
Yeah.
And I saw that they rolled out text walls, but everyone's like, it doesn't work.
Oh, that's crazy.
And if you use Cookie Cat, great. But if you wanted something real consistent, I'm further impressed with Cookie Design Lab yet again.
If you're making me a cookie cutter, it doesn't have what it is on the side.
I know. Corey hates it, but this was so simple to add.
Get out of 2019. Come join us in 2025.
To make those leaves, and I made falling leaf cookie cutters. I had to draw them. To make those into STLs, using Cookie Design Lab was, I mean, I really honestly, I made them for 2 different times, so I made 8 different STLs. Yeah. It took me seconds.
Well, if you're wondering why we're so raving about Cookie Design Lab, they are the sponsors for the STL Me About It section, and that's where you can text in your questions. You can text in by 571-556-5644. We have how many questions this time?
2.
Oh, just 2.
Just 2.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1.
1. Hello, Miracle Twins. This is from 612.
612.
I feel like
that's New Mexico right there.
Why do you feel like it?
I don't know.
Hot?
612 feels like mountainous.
Someone in 612 is shouting at their screen right now.
Colorado?
Minneapolis.
Oh,
Minnesota.
not even close. Minnesota.
You're very much cold, not hot. First of all, I wish Corey all the best with her health, and I hope you're truly doing well. I have 2 questions for you. One is in mind from day one, but never asked. Okay. What is the proper etiquette of following other businesses on IG and Instagram? Should I follow from my business account or from my personal? What is a good number, if there is one, of following other businesses?
Okay, I love that. So it's going to come down to what is your end goal. You're going to find that bakers a lot of times follow bakers, and maybe if there's a local competitor there, they won't like it as much. I love to follow businesses with my baking account. Why? Because I can still engage with their content. It keeps my brand top of mind. When they go clicking, I'm selling what hopefully they're eating. So I would love to get a corporate order that way. So following businesses with your baking account, 100% recommend. Fantastic way to do it. Is there a too many? Sometimes it can feel disingenuous. We run a bunch of accounts for our clients. So it's so funny when I see them.
Back in the day, there was a strategy. We could easily run bots on Instagram.
Yeah.
Those days have long since been laid to rest. Now we all must be authentic. But you could program a bot to say, follow as many accounts, wait a period of time. If they don't follow me back, unfollow them. That way your follower to following ratio wasn't so far off.
What's so funny, you could also tell the bots, follow anyone using this hashtag. So hashtag Northern Virginia. Unfortunately, while we're running these client accounts, which could range from, landscaping to an ice cream shop, this one baking account follows all of them in the span of 10 seconds.
Yeah, you could delay it. Wild. You could really make it look authentic. And I know there's still bots running amok on Instagram. You can see it.
What I suggest to be authentic. If you follow an account, follow the account because you like the content and you say to yourself, I'm going to engage with their content that falls in my feed because I truly do want to create a relationship with them. We're not just following to follow because you're not going to get any benefit from that. It's not going to do you any good. It's not going to do them any good.
I would say Corey should be following Graffiti Cat Pizza.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And you're going to see me follow them because I want to be able to tag them. I want to be able to show them that I'm in it to win it.
Right. And then Corey's going to what I would have done, I would have picked my company a while ago, a company I really liked for this collab, but I would have been engaging with them along the way so that this isn't like a shocking.
Hello. I wish I didn't do well then because was so in the mud about who to choose.
It's such a forethought. But to create, Corey and I, we had a client that worked at that had a show, like a vendor expo, and they had signed up for it. And Corey and I had gotten the vendor expo, had its own marketing company to market the expo.
Yeah.
And we had realized that behind that is us for somebody else.
Someone else.
So we would post content, tag them, they would share it, tag us. Yeah. And we were like, whoever you are out there.
I said, you other group of twins behind computers.
Yeah. I said, it's just a bunch of marketing people sitting behind, hoping they get tagged.
At the end of the day, if it's a small business, it's a small business owner behind there, and you can truly create a relationship with them. There's this admin of a local community group, and she has a business. And because I want to add value to the community group, but also add value to the admins, I went and followed them on social media with my baking company. The other day, the admins went live. She was able to name my company. She said, we love Mixie Bowl Cookie Co. She's never bought from me once. I've never done a sales post in the group.
Challenge.
But I'm saying using that and really being authentic with it is going to be worlds of different than just following to follow.
Authenticity in marketing is always, it just takes so much time.
It cannot be
You have to care.
Yeah.
So that one, she has a question number 2. If you don't read my text this coming week, do you consider this text for the following week? Or does my question go into rest in peace status?
It does go to rest in peace status.
Which is why we say you can re-text in your question if it hasn't been read.
But congratulations, Minnesota.
Minnesota, email me, heather@sugarcookiemarketing.com, and I will put you in contact with Cookie Design Lab, who told me to tell you guys are running a sale.
A little S-A-L-E.
A little S-T-L-S-A-L-E.
Oh, lots of S's.
From 827 to 93. More details to come. It will be more than our usual SEM discount, but not as big as savings that we will be offering in the Vendy Bunny. So they're back for the VB.
Nice.
A lot of acronyms. That is code. Hold on, I want to read the code for the discount. Twins to save 15%, and then they have that sale coming up. And if you go to their YouTube channel, Cookie Design Lab, you can watch them unbox and use a Freddy.
Well, read question number 2. You didn't win, but we appreciate your question. And if you want to text in a new question next week, and you have the potential to win.
Back to an Instagram and Facebook question. Hi, twins. I'm struggling with Instagram and Facebook. I started in September 2023. I have just over 100 posts, but only 400 followers on IG and only 36 followers on Facebook. My posts only get 10 to 20 likes on Instagram, which is always the same, friends and family members, and my Facebook likes are literally just me and my mom. Sad, I know. I love your mom.
Oh, I love your mom.
This summer, I've tried to start scheduling out posts at the beginning of each month so I can consistently post to try to stay in feeds, though I'll admit I basically only have 2 content buckets, which are customs and miscellaneous holidays and random days like Shark Week, first day of summer, etc. I plan to participate in the Main Street collab, which hopefully will get reposted by the business I Cookiefy and gain some local traction through that. I also plan to do the Cookie College Community Group Challenge in September. I didn't have time to research which groups would be worthwhile for me to focus on this month. What else can I do to gain followers, but more importantly, up my engagement so it's more than just friends and family? I love that you said you were going to do that.
Yeah.
That community group challenge. That community group challenge will make you money. I boldly stated, I said in August, we're doing a daily community group challenge. If you participate, you will make more money in the holiday season. I can boldly say that because community groups are the #1 lead gen source cited by bakers right now.
Yeah, for sure. So it comes down to, since we don't have your page in front of us, it's hard for me to look and diagnose. You know, a lot of times engagement comes from both what is the photo and what is the caption. Is the caption, if you're not asking the question in the first part of there, I would suggest moving that question, that engaging question, to the top part there. August holds, I think, National Cat Day we already passed, and I think National Dog Day is coming up at the end.
If you guys wonder what these weird holidays are, if you go to business.facebook.com, it pulls up Business Planner, and if you go on the left side and click on Planner, pulls up the calendar, and it has these, they call them, what are they? Oh, moments.
Moments.
And on the right side, I'm on a computer, it pulls up moments. So August 26th, National Dog Day. September 1st, Labor Day.
Okay, but I want to say it. Let's go to National Dog Day. This is a fantastic way to get people to engage. Instead of posting a cookie, what we're going to do is post your dog. If you don't have a dog now, the dog you had growing up. If you didn't have a dog growing up, post your neighbor's dog. And we're going to ask people to post a picture of their dog in the comments and have other people guess the name of that dog if they had that dog.
Love that. So what Corey's doing is forcing engagement.
Forcing engagement. At the end of the day, people who have pets, it's $1 billion industry. They love talking about their very expensive investment, which is the dog. What's going to
happen if you pair what she just said with that community group challenge, and if the group allows you to share from your page to the group, you can kind of crossbreed those. September 3rd, World Beard Day. Corey's husband has a beard. She can post a picture about her husband.
Does your husband have a beard? Let's see him in the comments.
Which I think would be super funny.
It'd be hilarious.
Super funny is if you had him with a beard and without a beard and said pick one. Same guy.
There's honestly, it would be so funny. It would take, there's a filter you could do. My son just did for a bald man filter.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, if you did a beard man filter, so your beardless husband making a beard.
If your husband truly loved you and your business, he'd shave his beard for you.
What we're going to do is not always feel salesy. We're not always going to post the cookie photo, because, you know, that does feel like, oh, there's a sales post in front of me. Maybe I'll read the caption. Maybe I won't.
She's got 2 content buckets, but I actually would challenge you to think that you only have 1, because both of those were cookies. It was customs or holidays. So it sounds like you're either telling people you baked a custom or you're telling people you baked for a holiday, which
I want to say what you just said, you're telling them. There's no asking.
Yeah, we can't see it, but I can only assume if those are the content buckets. So International Day of Charity is September 5th, right there.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, guys, what charities do you love?
What local charities? Tell me about them. Which charity means the most to you?
Friday the 13th. It's coming up.
Yeah, what is the spookiest movie? Someone made a TikTok, spooky movies you should watch during Halloween. I saved it. Yeah, I want to watch those.
And you could have a picture of your Hocus Pocus cookies. And
Absolutely.
that's such a better delivery of that because that's engaging content. Don't forget, September 14th, Grandparents' Day. Oh, you can make some content there, Bucko.
I got to with my old grandma.
So you can go to Facebook International Coffee Day, ask people what their orders are, Breast Cancer Awareness Month, Cancer Awareness. Yeah. Everyone has stories. World Teachers. So there's a ton of these.
So it's you're already on the right track because you say, I love to do it. The big ones, September 22nd, it's the first day of fall. Everyone knows that. But these more niche ones. Oh, yeah. So sorry. We're planning girlies over here. Give me my jacket.
I need some cooler weather.
But the first day of fall, it's a big one, but a lot of people will be using that one. But turning the, breast cancer awareness, what's the story behind someone? Why does it mean something to you? Asking people to share the photos of their dogs and having other people guess the names. Hilarious, engaging, And if you are like, well, I'm doing that and no one's commenting.
You should, for yours, have your arm with the tattoo of the dog and him with the same face in the background.
How can the ball that you gave me is years old?
I want to talk about the community group challenge because we referenced it a lot, but it's not fair to people who don't know what it is.
Sure.
It's in the Cookie College, you do a monthly challenge. So each day typically has a task associated with it, depending on what the challenge is. This is what these prompts sound like for the community group challenge. So you understand what I'm saying when this would help you make more sales. The task one was find a group that is hyper-local and allows selling. Mm-hmm. That's the biggest thing. Mm-hmm. We also want it to be managed. Mm-hmm. Admin. The next one is you're going to leave 5 comments on 5 posts. That's the task.
Yeah.
It's going to mention nothing about baking. Mm-mm. It's somebody going to ask a question. You're going to answer it. Somebody going to make a joke. You're going to laugh at it. Mm-hmm. The next one is you're going to make 1 post recommending a local business.
Yeah. Easy peasy. What this community group challenge, and we did a podcast on how to use community groups in your favor.
This is based around
this challenge is holding your feet to the fire, and the college loves these challenges. We have a walking challenge in September. We've done a money challenge, mental health challenge. It's really honestly making you focus about your business in not such a focusy kind of way,
right,
in a roundabout way. And that's why the college, this one is how to use community groups before we get into the onslaught of busy season. How can you come top of mind when people start asking, is there a local baker who can make these cookies?
This is a 30-day challenge, and only 1 time do we sell.
Yeah.
So if that goes to show you how much authenticity, manufactured authenticity, challenged authenticity is required to turn a community group into a referral powerhouse.
Yeah.
It's a lot. And I tell them this at the end of this 30-day challenge, you don't stop.
Yeah.
You just repeat it.
What's so funny, Heather told me to mention this last time, but last week, this community group that I've been investing my time in, I haven't sold in yet, went live. And the 2 ladies, I've only known them online. I've never met them in person or anything like that. But I comment in the group. They do Tuesday tips. I always comment because they always ask a question like,
what was your tip?
No, she says, here's a tip. Here's how you can overcome a bad review. And then I said, it's really hard for me to get the courage to ask for reviews. So I'm looking in the comments if anyone has a great way, just engaging with their content. When they went live and did that thing, they said, hey, listen, if you are in this group and you just post and ghost, we will not like your business. We will not try to drive. But they said, I was just in the comments like, hoorah, you're great, thanks. And they were like, wow, Corey, thank you so much. You show up on this Tuesday post. So they're seeing you.
Well, there's humans behind the keyboard too.
You have to remember there is humans behind the keyboard. They are trying to run these groups. It's hard to do. So the more you can help them, the more they've never bought from me, but they gave me a shout out. Mm-hmm. So I'm just saying,
you keep it going, it'll keep doing it. It's just how we work.
Yeah.
It's just, I can't spell it out for you guys anymore. Leave 5 more comments. The next one, post a meme. Hyperlocal, create a poll. That one, a lot of people tried, and they were like, wow, everyone wants to vote. I was like, yeah, you ask for people's opinions. They love it. React to comments. Now, people don't realize there's a point system in groups.
There is.
That's how you earn those badges.
Yeah.
Reacting to comments earns points, but it doesn't tell the group admin. So if you're like, well, I think they're going to put me on post approval, they can't see that.
Right.
So, ask a question. Don't do anything because we have to be authentic, right? Not everyone posts in a group every day.
I know even someone one time, me and Heather in our local group, because too many people were using it for sales, said, if you want to make a sales post on Saturday, you have to do a random post during the week. So I was like, I have nothing to say during the week. Listen, there's this ice cream truck that has a cult following around my neighborhood. A lot of people's questions will be like, does anyone know where Mr. Softy is?
Mr. Softy.
That totally counts. And guess what? So many people can relate to it because everyone knows to hear his music. Oh, Mr. Softy's on, Hedges Run.
We had, okay, if you haven't cultivated the group at all and suddenly you're doing all this, you will put some red flags up with the admin.
For sure.
So this one participant, she was like, oh, I got put on post approval. Then the next day on August 11th, we had shouted out a member. She shouted out the admin. She's like, the admin does a great job. The admin immediately messages and said, all your posts had gone to the spam filter. I'm so sorry. Yeah. This is the nicest thing I've ever seen written about me. Let me tell you, as an admin myself, nobody's writing nice things.
I want to say, as an admin, when someone's post goes to post approval, ends up in spam, admins aren't notified. But what's so funny is when someone gets offended but you had nothing to do with it, they'll be like, this group, my posts never go up. Why are people
Zuckerberg is ruining my life. He's saving my life and ruining it at the same time. Anyways, that is how I would get that engagement. Back to the original question is put into these groups, people will naturally find themselves on your page. Mm-hmm. On the page, be engaging. And that's what Corey's going to do with the beard day, with the dog day. And in between that, you're going to make your sales pitch.
Yeah, in between those, that's when you're going to do it. But really to get the engagement, and I want to say it's hard out in their streets. I'm really focused on responding to comments, to try to elevate that, because people, when they just throw you a bone every single time, hey, great set, and they never get commented, they start trickling off. So it's really investing in the comments that you do get, even if it's your mom, if it's your husband. When Heather comments, I act like I've never met her before a day in my life.
No, I do. Hey sis, wish I could eat these. And you're like, you'll never get one. So yeah, it's that kind of like stuff.
If you have great questions, by the way, I love that. If you would like to text in, without you, that little segment does not.
I mean, you had a 50% chance of winning a month of the Cookie Design Lab.
So the phone number is 571-556-5644.
And to move on to our other sponsors, thank you so much, other sponsors. Baking Me Crazy, use code FAVORITETWIN for 10% off. That is a supply shop. Love them. Back for the Vendy Blendy as well.
Right now, 'tis the season to stock up on supplies.
If the summer taught us anything about meringue powder, it's to stock up.
So if you're wanting to do cute Christmas things, don't wait till you need them to go order them.
Well, it's so funny. We were talking about it. Cutter shops have to operate. If bakers operate 6 weeks out of a holiday, the cutter shop has to operate 12 weeks out. So they're all dropping their Halloween stuff.
So if you need the sprinkles, if you need the gel food coloring, I want to say don't wait till after Black Friday. Everyone's ordering everything online. So anything that's guaranteed shipping after that, you don't know.
Right.
Ordering it now and planning ahead, that's going to be your best bet.
Absolutely. Royal Batch code TWIN. Somebody asked me that yesterday. They said, does that code expire? Not as long as she is a sponsor, which she's been a sponsor for years now. Mm-hmm. Royal Batch by baketybake.com. Yeah. Meringue powder. Corey loves it. Daisy makes. You just placed an order. These are cake pop molds.
And trays.
And if you struggle with cake pops, these are the
to me, this is where I hope the industry ends up.
Because it's not balls, right? They're like pucks.
They're called discs. Discs. Yeah. So it's got a flat side on both. So it makes it just a tinge bit easier to dip in the chocolate and to not have it fall off, which that was the issue with the big circle. It's so heavy.
It's so heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I bought one, a cake pop for my cat. Yeah, like Eddie Printer, direct to food. We talked about that as being kind of that niche down thing, that mass production. Yeah. You can put out product really quickly. Back to the 10,000 cookies at $40,000. $40,000.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not sure any of us could mentally handle that. And then Bosch and Nutrimilk. We actually gave away a Bosch in the Cookie College on Sunday.
Yeah, we just did. She said, I'm crying, throwing up, puking in the car. It's been amazing.
So that was fun. But use code Sugar Cookies there to save $20 when checking out. It's an affiliate link.
That is an affiliate link. But thank you to our sponsors. Without them, we wouldn't have this podcast.
We wouldn't.
So I appreciate them holding our feet to the fire. So we show up every Tuesday.
A lot of times Corey's like, I was like, I don't feel good today. And she was like, do you want me not to go? I'm like, we got to do it for the sponsors.
Yeah,
we got to do it for the sponsors.
Do it live.
Next week, we'll have 2 guest speakers.
We will. Because you guys love guests so much. We had 2 volunteers who actually are flying in, which is insane.
I love it. I love that vibe. They're going to like spas in the area. They're like sightseeing and stuff.
I know.
Hopefully the weather's good for them.
I know. I'll have to look at the 40-day.
The weather at Tysons Mall is always good.
So we'll take them to lunch, but they're going to be on the podcast, and they have 2 very unique perspectives as well. One has been like chronically on the Food Network, which is insane. I'll be in the presence of someone famous.
Yeah, it's Heather Brookshire, the Disney trip planner.
Yeah, but then
Kim just passed her 1-year anniversary.
She
of
opened
owning
a brick and mortar in a franchise. So it's even more niche, and she's been killing it.
It's fascinating to see. And if Kim's my only gateway into looking into franchises in terms of food, it's very fascinating to see how it all works.
It's Beans and Brews, which I think is popular down south. So we
don't have them here.
Yeah, we don't have them.
And
I wish
Texas.
we did. Yeah, she's from Texas, but she did a Facebook Live in the Cookie College. I think it was about an hour long. I listened to every second. Like when someone's coming into the kitchen, like my husband, I'm like, hold on, my show's on. So go ahead.
Yeah, no, Kim's talking on TV.
But honestly, just the knowledge she has from doing it has just been fascinating to learn from someone who took it from a home-based bakery, which most of us are, and brought it into a space that not many of us can get to.
It's so funny, and I hope I'm not telling her story ahead of it, but they loan out, the franchise loans out an inflatable like latte.
Yeah.
He was like huge. Like he's massive. He's sitting in front on their opening day.
Yeah.
And somebody shot him.
Yeah, which is wild. How Texas to do.
Not the latte.
Not the latte.
So that is today's podcast. I hope it makes sense. If you buy a diamond ring, please let us know. Corey'd like to see it.
We'd like to celebrate. Send you some diamond cookies.
Very, very nice diamond. That's such a wild word. VVS. Very, very,
very, very clear.
very, very good one.
Your husband liked you very, very much.
Not a very, very good one. Okay. Do you have anything
Do you have a twin
for my life here?
Oh, you're dying. Okay, let me think if I have a twin test real quick. I go in for my final update today to see if the surgery went well.
Very nice.
I will be sweating yet again.
Is it hike your leg up?
This is a take your clothes off and come to the edge of the bed.
That's the last one was. Shit. I'm wearing loose fitting clothes.
That's why I walked in today and I forgot my deodorant and I said, Heather, I have to borrow your deodorant.
Oh my goodness, you didn't wear deodorant today?
Yeah. I know. It's because
I would spank you.
What?
You get mad at Archer for forgetting deodorant, for you to have to ask for deodorant. You get mad at the things you also do wrong.
I want to say 99% of the time I remember my deodorant.
If I get out of the shower, sorry guys, I'm not feeling well. If I get out of the shower 2 seconds without deodorant, I'm like, what does that smell? What are you doing?
I'm going to tell you. Because I will be at the edge of the bed and she will be down there. I was worried that my legs weren't going to be smooth and they were going to be right by her face.
The doctor's getting the full treatment.
She's getting the full treatment today, but I forgot the deodorant while I was worried about my legs.
The tangled webs.
The tangled webs.
Okay, kids, we'll see you next week with some additional people on the podcast.
We'll have to finagle how that works.
They texted me yesterday and they were like, what should we prepare for? And I was like, wear layers. It's so hot in this office. You'll want to start taking them off.
All right, guys, we will see you next week.
Okay.